Hello, philosophers. I'm Alex Martinez.
And I'm Sam Mascaro.
And welcome to the ultimate episode of Film Philosophy. So we've been gone the past few weeks, and we're very apologetic, I suppose. I mean, you can't expect us to be completely on schedule, but we've been busy, and schedules do sometimes create conflicts.
Spring break, the end of last quarter, and Alex has the immune system of like a baby. So.
I'm pretty sure I caught it from Gary. Let's be real. He was sick that entire trip.
Now he's just scapegoating it, but it's all good.
He was sick that entire trip. There's no one else who could have given it to me. I don't get sick that easily. I stay pretty healthy. And also today we have David on again. So
hey.
What's up, David? Today we have several things that we're going to be speaking about. So I want to start off real quick about talking about something, if that's okay with everyone.
Sure,
Go for it.
Go for it.
All right, cool. So my friends over at LZ Nation, it's a YouTube network type thing. They are co-hosting a con, I believe, on June 7th through the 8th of this year. You can go ahead and buy your tickets now. The ticket sales end on May 31st. It's the last day, and I believe it's in Galveston, Texas. So it's really cool what they're doing for it, and the tickets aren't that expensive. They're I think $85 for like you get to go to special events and stuff as well. And it's like an all access type pass, so it's something definitely worth the cost. It's just a matter of getting out to Galveston, but definitely really cool so far. I believe they still have a lot of tickets left, but it's June 7th to the 8th. And the final day to buy tickets is the 31st of May. So go ahead and check that out if you can. If you're a fan of Minecraft and just video games and arcade things.
Fun nice.
Yes. So go ahead, Sam, and hop into something. I don't know.
All right, guys. We can go into a couple things right now. First, I'm going to give you guys a little update when it comes to some movies because we have had a little while to be able to space it out. Movies and TV, we can be able to go into that real quick, and we're just going to do a quick overview over it. Today we got Draft Day, which is a great movie in the world of professional football and what's going on behind the scenes. We also have Captain America, which came out, I think it was either last week or the week before. We also
guess who's in Draft Day?
Who?
David, you're going to know his name. Saul Goodman. From Breaking Bad, just saying, things are getting tied together. Anyways, continue, Sam.
We also have the movie Noah, which we could maybe even talk about later, or we can bring it up right now. It caused a lot of controversy with people who are very, very fundamentalist and believe that the story of Noah, which is a biblical story, that it should have been a little bit more accurate as to how the main character Noah and even some of the other characters were perceived. But I've also heard some really good things about the movie as well. We can also go into the movie Divergent. I heard that I watched the movie and I liked it. I personally have not read the books though, but I heard that some of it strayed off from it.
I read the books and the movie was just bad in comparison.
Yeah, okay.
So the Hunger Games. I wasn't a big fan of those books.
But like I said, I'm one of those people too. I like to actually, I don't know why, but I'm like in a reverse situation. The only exception being Harry Potter. I like to actually watch the movie first and then read the book just to kind of see the comparisons between the two. But that's about it for that. We also have Game of Thrones, the season,
Season 4.
Season 4 just came out last Sunday. And so it's, huge series in general. I love it. Alex is a geek for it, and so yeah.
So is David. David loves Game of Thrones.
Love it.
Yep. But we're not including David in these things right now. He's still on probation for the last time.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't roll over. It's like school suspension. It's like, though you get spring break, we're going to extend it past spring break because spring break doesn't count. Never understood that policy, but
this is like summer school.
It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You get suspended for 5 days, and you get on the Friday before you leave to go. You have 1 day, and then you leave for an entire spring break. You come back, and you serve another 4 days, and so you're like, what up? But It's all right. We can go into something that I came across a couple of months ago, but considering we haven't done this in a wee bit of time, I probably haven't brought it up. There is a news organization. If any of you have HBO, I certainly recommend it. They're news, but they're not news at the same time. It's called Vice News. These guys are given more access than CNN and pretty much any other news organization in the world for the simple fact of the matter that they tell dry cut. They're very, very down, straight to the point, but they cover real news. They don't cover airplanes that have been missing for like a month and that they talk about it every single chance that they get. They're covering stuff like, the problems between Pakistan and India and how there's a nuclear problem going there, or maybe how the United States is causing cancer with kids now in Iraq and Afghanistan due to the certain kinds of weapons that we use. I mean, it's a great TV show. They recently just released a press release that showed a video of them being in a small little country on the eastern side of Ukraine, which just liberated itself from Ukraine due to its wanting to be a part of Russia. So it's a pretty cool thing. I'm going to segue this real hard into a topic which Alex can elaborate on a lot, and we can talk about that. So let's go into MegaCon.
So I went to MegaCon the last day that we were actually in Orlando for the FBLA convention, and it was really fun. I definitely enjoyed it. I got to see a lot of really interesting people there, and it was just really cool. I got to meet an actor from The Walking Dead, the governor, who was
Klaus.
played by. Yes, that's true. But let me get into the governor first.
Okay.
David Morrissey. I got to speak to him for a few minutes, and it's just really interesting how much these actors kind of like to get involved with their fans. I mean, he talked to me for at least a minute and a half. I know there's a lot of people in line, so he had to move me along, but it was just really cool. And I got to meet Peter Mayhew, who plays Chewbacca, so that was a big thing. And I got to meet Klaus from Vampire Diaries. So
Yeah.
So David and me, that whole thing. But when I was in Comic-Con, I definitely, the best part of that was just being able to see all the people cosplaying. It was really cool to see all these people in different costumes, whether they're handmade or whether they bought the pieces. It was really cool to see really creative people being able to bring these comic characters and these game characters and movie characters to life. I know I took a few pictures with a few people, and it was just really cool.
Would you ever cosplay as someone?
Yeah, I would definitely go. I think it would be really fun. I've already
If I
started.
could go, I would cosplay as Toph just to see if I could do it.
You should be the cabbage guy. Or no,
Yes,
what's his
my
name?
cabbage.
What's the one? He's an Earthbender. He was the king with the bear.
King Ira, or no, not King Ira.
I'm trying to remember. Boomy was the crazy old guy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Earthbending king who was like.
I know who.
Yeah, he had like the pet bear. I think his name was like the bear's name was Poku or something.
Are you saying I should be the bear?
No, you should be the guy.
No, I should be the bear and you should be Iroh. 'Cause you probably could pull it off, Alex.
Zuko. Make me some tea, Zuko.
Okay, we've come to a conclusion about something, and I want to just tell the philosophers this, because I honestly think this is the funniest thing, and I think David will find it funny too. So we were in FBLA for the state for the first day, and when you're in this entire conference, you must understand that at no time are you really allowed to wear normal clothes. You're pretty much wearing a suit 24/7, and it got to the point to where Alex and Gary Peeler, who's a normal on the show, regular, I mean to say, we were all sharing one room, and we were all getting dressed together. We made a look. Gary put on these like shaded glasses, and I'm Italian, and so I've always had like a weird kind of.
We're gonna talk about this.
A weird kind of nostalgia for like mafia bosses. And we got to the point to where I was sitting there and I was looking at Gary and I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, I could be the mafia boss, and Gary, you could be like my hitman, like my like side ego, like I tell you to do something with my eyes and you get it done. And I look at Alex, and Alex is over here. Alex is like 5'4".
I'm 5'6".
Okay, he looks like he was 5'10".
with high heels on.
No,
And
dude.
he's sitting there. He's sitting there like holding a bunch of books, or no, he was holding like the camera equipment and all this, and it looked as if he was having a little trouble with it. And I just thought in my head, I was like, Alex, you are the perfect Semitic like accountant. You are a Jewish accountant.
Dude, Passover's next week actually. So,
Yes.
dude, I'm gonna take pictures while I'm there.
Alex is like the guy who owns the beef shop or whatever, the meat shop, who's like the cover up for the mafias.
This is what I'm saying.
You don't tell nobodies, okay?
Oh my gosh. All right. This is why you're the accountant.
Well, it was a fun trip there, and just MegaCon in general, and I mean, it was definitely something interesting to go and do. I would definitely go again. I know they have a Ocala like Comic-Con thing, so I might go do that.
Yeah. They have that coming up. For those of you who live in Ocala, which I'm assuming all of you do, they have tried to be able to start that up, and they had a decent amount of people come last year. Hopefully it gets a little bit bigger. Also, another thing that I wanted to bring up that Ocala's been bringing up, or that Ocala did, was the International Film Festival. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who went.
Yeah,
out
you're the
of
only one who
all of
officially
us.
went.
Yeah.
Okay. The International Film Festival was honestly one of the best weekends that I've had in a while. They showed about 99% of the shorts, because they were all pretty much short films. The short films really ranged from anywhere from 5 seconds, or not really 5 seconds, but like 30 seconds to about like 30 minutes. But they ranged from countries like South Africa, Iran, or Iran, the correct way to be able to say it.
Yes.
And there was one from Vietnam, there was one from France, and there was one from Cuba even. And so they had a great amount of diversity when it came to the origins of the films. But the films themselves were amazing films. I was really let down by the Iranian film, because I was like, this looks really good. It was called 3 Minute Screenplay, and it was really bad. It was extremely bad, actually. I was sitting there waiting for something cool to happen. I was even waiting for even if it was a simple thing, it was just not a great thing.
Did you go see any of the student productions, or is it just?
I did. I did to some degree. If any of you philosophers went to Create, there was the guy there who won first place.
Alex, yeah, he should have been there.
Alex won the student award, but he didn't use the same film. If you know what I'm talking about, he did not use the
Cognition.
Yeah, he didn't use that film. He used a different one. But there was also a Forrest alumni, or alumnus, I guess you could say, from at the film festival, and his name is Brendan Wade.
Oh, Brendan Wade was there?
Well, his game life was there, and it counted him. Our TV production teacher has the tendency to, whenever he finds something that he really likes, he'll reuse it a bunch of times. And so, for example, we had a student who did a really good animation, and so he reused that same animation in 1,000 different award processes, and he ended up entering it in. Even though the guy's 20 now, he still uses it. So, but you do your thing, do your thing.
Well, I know for a fact he's not going to be using Flood like that, because I basically own the rights to that film. So I'm yeah, I'm just saying I could argue with him about that. Anywho, that makes I don't with the film festival, I'm definitely wanting to enter something. I want to next time. That's my goal right now, is to try and enter something into that festival.
The biggest problem with it is, in all honesty, a lot of people didn't really get the word out about this, but all student-made films of Marion County, it might even been just student films in general, but they were all free for entrance. It cost absolutely nothing to enter in their films. So that would have been a big, go ahead for some people.
I definitely want to look at that next year. I think that's something, if we do some other short film, if we do anything following up to something that we made already, just anything that we do in the future, I want to put more production value into it, definitely, and try to get a more professional type thing, and try to submit it into that. Because, I mean, it's cool to get that kind of free publicity. I mean, people are going to definitely go see it. And
Sure.
they're going to, even if it's just like, oh, I'm going to go see the stupid student film, they might turn out to love it. And they will start to spread it and be like, I wonder if this is on YouTube. Let me check. Or online somewhere. And they're going to look.
I gotta say this because it just hit my mind, and this was honestly the great. I haven't even told Alex really about this yet, philosophers. But this is honestly one of the best films I've ever seen in a general sense. It was a film actually from Denmark, and it was a student-made film. It was called Rabbit and Deer, and I implore you to Google this video. But the video was actually a mix between 2D and 3D. And it was an extremely well-made. It was actually a student film.
Really?
But it was extremely amazing. It wasn't as if it was they combined the elements into one. Like there wasn't one character that was both 2D and 3D. It was like they would have stop motion animation, like reacting with 3D animation.
That's really cool.
And so it was extremely interesting, and it was probably one of the best animations I've seen in a long, long, long time. And so I definitely recommend watching that. I also recommend I'm trying to think of the name of it.
A Serbian film?
Shut up, David. Shut up. Nothing. Keep going.
A South African film. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it was really good.
You're going to get your this podcast again.
What did you say? What did he say?
What?
What did he
He
say?
said something that's not appropriate. It's a really not appropriate film.
This is what happens.
If Sam, you would know what I mean when I say not appropriate. Okay.
I feel like I'm about to get a timeout.
Dude, you're gonna get like.
Someone's gonna pull out their belt, and I'm gonna get beat.
You ever heard of the deterrent effect? There's a deterrent effect that people use where they say, if you punish somebody, it will be a deterrent to people to not do it anymore. Well, we punished Sir David for like 4 months, and that obviously did nothing. So
the next tactic is obviously to waterboard him.
Exactly. See, this is where Zero Dark 30 comes to play. Now we can like take YouTube videos off. We're like, all right, we got it down.
We have to euthanize David.
Exactly.
Get tortured.
Sam, go get another one of his clones out.
Oh my god.
In season 5.
We made some funny pictures about David, which I found to be the
not
best.
amusing.
Hey, at episode 10, no, I'm sorry, at episode 15, we're just gonna kill David off.
True.
All right, David.
15's my favorite number.
Then we'll just bring one of your clones onto one of the episodes.
True.
We have tons of those, so.
Would a clone be worse or better than me, to be honest, though?
Dude, we've been brainwashing those clones pretty hard. I mean, unless they met you, they would,
I would corrupt them.
You would corrupt them. You'd be like, guys, check this out. And then you'd immediately do something really stupid, and then they would, like, do the same thing.
Under the influence of drugs.
I have a question that I want to go through, you guys, and I want you guys to tell me your honest opinion on this, considering this is film philosophy.
All right.
And I want to hear what you guys think about this, okay?
Okay, continue.
Now, in school, we learn a lot about certain kinds of writing, some being called naturalist and some being called romanticist, and we go into that kind of category. A lot of films that we watch are romantic films, not in the sense that they have a lover or anything of that sort, that it's more of the movie has like a happy ending. It has almost a setup ending to where there's good thing that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, you know, at the end of this story that it's going to have a happy ending. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, in some sense that there's going to be a resolution. There's going to be something that's okay, even if there is bad events that happen.
Like how the film will always end up how it was prior to the bad events that happened in the film.
Yes.
Everything will return to a good state in the film, right?
Yes, pretty much. There's no movie that I've seen to date where the ending is just, you know... Well, actually, I take that back.
I've seen one.
I take that back.
I saw it recently. Friday.
I love Friday.
No, not the movie Friday. I saw it Friday.
What movie?
Captain America. It doesn't end how it started. It really does change a lot of stuff. No, I'm saying that it really does change a lot of stuff in the continuity of the Marvel film universe. it really does a really good job about doing that.
How would you rank the Marvel films in your opinion?
Like all of them together?
Yeah.
I would definitely, like, writing wise, I'm definitely going to have to give it like a 7.5 or an 8 because the writing is stellar in the films. They have comedy mixed with just extreme moments of tension. And Captain America: The Winter Soldier was definitely one of those films where it was definitely focused more on the darker side of the Marvel universe. It still had some comedy parts in it, but it was a lot darker than previous Marvel films. Overall, though, between Phase 2 and Phase 1, I have to give Phase 2 a higher rating, simply just because they're doing an amazing job playing off the events of the Avengers. It's a stellar thing.
What I'm liking about Phase 2 is that we don't have to have any more origin stories right now.
No more origin stories. We know the characters. They've been through their whole fight with the aliens, the Chitauri in New York. They've gone through this dramatic event, and now they are trying to continue their stories. There's no more origin stories, which is wonderful. You know, Spider-Man does a great job at retelling its origin story a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they've done that a lot. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, because when I watch The Amazing Spider-Man, I don't get that much of a nostalgia effect towards the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, because I honestly think that Tobey Maguire almost, I don't want to say screwed it up, but he had like a really weird like psychological effect on that role.
Can I ask you a question, Sam, real quick? Just to make this so that I don't want to murder you. Would you say that the third Spider-Man movie sucked hard?
The third, let me think.
With Venom and Sandman.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Just making sure you weren't like, oh no, that was the best one, because that would have caused issues.
My favorite performance in Spider-Man 3 was Eric from That 70s Show.
I have to say,
I would honestly say that the best one was probably the original one out of all of them.
I kind of like the second one a lot. I don't know.
I'm not too crazy about the second one, but I'm not really crazy about any of them. They were the only ones that were really like good when it comes to reenactments of Spider-Man up to that point. And so it wasn't like I had a whole bunch to compare it to. So it was kind of like what it was. It's almost as though it's like with Batman. It's like you see the Dark Knight series and you compare it to the old Batmans and you're like, they did so much better with the newer ones.
Yeah, you can't compare it like that.
Exactly. And so it gets hard. There's not that huge of an effect when it comes to the Spider-Man. I think with Spider-Man, they're actually getting a lot more, like they're going into storylines that were not really addressed in the first one. I think they're going to reemerge when they go into Harry's character.
I want to talk about this some because this is going to be really cool. You can keep going though. Keep going. I'll mention it afterwards.
I was just saying they're going to like go into Harry's character and the Green Goblin, kind of. And I kind of like that they're going to do that because it gives that nostalgia effect. So
another thing is it's a completely different person who's the Green Goblin in this case. In the original one, it was Norman, and in this one, they're having Harry be the Green Goblin.
Right. Well.
So.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Well, so it's like the Amazing Spider-Man. I really enjoyed the first one. I thought that it was weird because it really felt like it was like two movies, and that's a good thing because I felt like I was watching two movies back to back. It felt like I was fulfilled enough with the origin story. They didn't jump right into it. They kind of explained it a little bit. I felt like they really were pretty fluid about the whole origin story and the whole lizard thing. Because it wasn't like the lizard was there the entire time. It was more of like it happens. And they played it off really well, I believe, in the first one. But in the second one that's coming out, I believe, like May 14th or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it, and I guess I love the original Spider-Man movies for a nostalgic factor, but it's cool to see them take the comic books into account now and really make the character of Peter Parker more how it was then. And I just feel like they're doing a good job. I'm not going to say that the original ones were complete crap, because I love them. I grew up watching those, but I'm just saying that I love what they're doing with the new ones. I think they're doing a fantastic job on them.
I'm a big fan of, in a general sense, I'm a big fan of because they have a lot more talent when it comes to the newer Spider-Mans as well. They have Emma Stone, they have Andrew Garfield,
They have Sally Field, and I think who are they putting in the new one? They're putting I'm trying to think of
They
his
have a
name.
lot of people, dude. Jamie Foxx. Boom.
Jamie Foxx. They have Jamie Foxx coming in, and then they have that awkward guy who's going to play Harry.
Is it something DeHaan? Dean
Yeah,
DeHaan or something like that?
He's
Martin
just a weird
DeHaan.
character.
Martin. Not Martin.
Any role that he ever plays, he always ends up like going crazy, and so or he becomes like a drug addict or something like that. But
Well,
he's just an odd actor.
And this one though, like it's supposed to be like a chemical. Like he looks like chemically scarred in some of the pictures I've seen of him as the Green Goblin. I mean, he looks like he's been like beaten up and just like brought back down. Like he looks destroyed. And so okay, so something interesting I want to mention. You know who Venom is, right? And do you know who Carnage is, by any chance?
Carnage. Let me think.
In the comic books, he's a symbiote type guy like Venom. You can go ahead and look up.
Okay. Yes. I know exactly. What you're
He's
talking
like the
about.
red version of him.
Yes.
On the official, like I believe it's like the official website for Amazing Spider-Man, they've been releasing like Daily Bugle clips, and it's really cool because the Daily Bugle clips are being written by a guy named Eddie Brock, and so they're hinting towards the Venom really heavily, I suppose. But at the same time, one of the news articles the other day that I was looking at says Killer Cletus Cassidy caught. Cletus Cassidy is a Carnage. He is the guy who becomes Carnage. So I feel like in the third one, they're going to really bring that aspect in. And especially since they want to make a separate Sinister Six movie, I believe that bring Venom and the Carnage in, that's just going to be. I can't wait to see that because I didn't think they didn't do a very good job in the third Spider-Man movie, bringing Venom in, Sandman. I don't feel like those are really well played characters.
Yeah, but the way that it's hard because the way that they made Venom look, I'm trying to think, it was almost as if it was like it didn't work with the actual character themselves. It was, I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about how they represented Venom, just because I think they did a good job in the sense of being able to somewhat introduce the villain, but I think that it could have been better.
Well, and that's why I'm amazed because I want to see the Amazing Spider-Man version of Venom because he is such a psychopath and he becomes like the biggest. Him and Carnage become super, just insane. I mean, Carnage in one issue of the comic rips a guy's throat out and just does it because he's a killer and the symbiote just amplifies all the feelings. That, and I'd also like to ask a question for you guys. Do you guys think that, I believe his name was J.K. Simmons, right? He played the original the news guy. I'm trying to remember his name now. J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Do you think that he would come back for this one?
Maybe. I mean, that was the big aspect that they kind of didn't get into.
I feel like he could be. I feel like they need to introduce the Daily Bugle story kind of soon because that's really important to the character.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, that was a big thing that I kind of saw. I mean, there were some. I like that they made a completely new approach when it came to Spider-Man because they did do the cliche Spider-Man beginning, with Uncle Ben dying and all that kind of stuff, but they didn't really get into too big a depth when it came to him getting his powers, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because Tobey Maguire spent like 45 minutes just figuring out that he had powers in the movie. And then finally he utilizes it in a professional wrestling ring.
Yeah.
And so
Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw! I'm going to take you down, little man. I think they did.
Bad.
I'm really excited for it. Now, I want to move on real quick because we've been talking about Spider-Man for like 6 or 7 minutes now. A trailer that I think a movie that a lot of controversy has been circling around, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that was supposed to be just the Ninja Turtles movie, but and they've really been emphasizing Ninja Turtles because if you watch the trailer, Teenage Mutant is super tiny above Ninja Turtles. So the movie is directed it's actually produced by what's his name?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, yeah. And trailer. You would think that for a movie that has a lot of controversy that they would try to release like a trailer that gave more. I didn't feel that hooked into it. Have you guys seen the trailer yet for it?
I also love how the Foot have guns now.
Now, I have to say that I kind of like the modernization of it. I mean, you had to imagine that they were going to take like a Dark Knight type move on this, where they're going to make it a lot more serious and a much darker tone to the whole story.
But I don't get that. Why make
What, David?
Well, why make it serious when your main characters are turtles?
Okay, I agree with you in that sense. I just don't. It's not something I could buy it. All right, I will buy this. I will take this thing, but they can't just give us a few seconds of footage. I want to see something. I want to see something more in depth. I mean, Megan Fox is in it. I'm not a huge Megan Fox fan. I mean, I don't even know why her and Michael Bay made up. They had this huge fight over Transformers. William Fichtner is in it. They have some white guy playing Shredder. I still don't know who Master Splinter is.
You guys vent on that. I'm gonna watch this so I can be able to comment.
I'm gonna watch the movie. No doubt, I'm going to watch the movie.
Have you seen the? There were like, I know there was 2. There might have been a third. There were live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie done before.
Yeah, I've seen those. I grew up watching those, dude.
Me too.
My mom rented the movie so I could watch it. Now we have there's a few actors that I recognize.
Shout out to Blockbuster.
Dude, I freaking miss Blockbuster so much. Okay, so like, all right, I'm not a huge fan of some of these actors. Okay, I'm not. We have Megan Fox playing April O'Neil, Alan Ritchson playing Raphael, Noah Fisher playing Michelangelo. We have William Fichtner playing the Shredder. Jerry M. Howard playing Donatello.
Donatello.
I said Donatello. Whoops. Danny Woodburn playing Splinter. We have Pete Plazek playing Leonardo. Will Arnett. All right, I love Will Arnett, but he's playing some jokey role. He's playing Vernon Fenwick, who was in the cartoons. I remember that.
I wish Danny DeVito was playing April O'Neil.
Dude, you know it. Also, Johnny Knoxville is playing Leonardo.
Johnny Knoxville?
Yes.
Leonardo?
Yes.
We're talking about Jackass.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, Sam?
I'm going to segue you guys because we'll stay on this for an hour and a half. I might have to leave in a minute, and so I just want to get my 2 cents.
Go ahead and do that. Me and David will talk for a little bit if you leave.
Okay. All right, let's get into something. And I'll try to be able to segue it back, and then I'll probably head out.
All right.
And I'll do it like an unofficial goodbye. So very recently we had a huge moment, or not a huge moment, but annual March Madness, which if you know what that is the basketball tournament of the NCAA basketball teams. And it came down to, I believe it was Kentucky, which I'm a big fan of. It was between Kentucky and I want to say UConn. Yeah, UConn. And UConn killed us by like 6 points. But that was a huge thing because when you watch these sporting events, whether it be the Super Bowl, the national championship, NBA, the finals for NHL, any of these things, you will honestly see some of the best commercials, and you'll see a lot of advertising for things. And especially for movies. And so that's what, I mean, when it comes to big events, they always pull out the big guns, especially when it comes to the big places like the Super Bowl and even the Oscars. They're big when it comes to their different types of commercials. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a great, I don't know, it's a great way to be able to get your word about your movie and stuff like that. Let me think. Also, a big thing that I want to implore in you guys is me and Gary Peeler, of course, we were at the International Film Festival. We were sitting there with a couple of high-end people. The guy who hosted, I don't remember his name, but we had a couple really big people. We had the admissions guy from FSU for the Film Academy, and the biggest thing that they implored into us is that no matter what kind of movie you have or what kind of short film or whatever, whether it be shot with the crappiest Canon that you can find, or even an iPhone, whatever. The biggest thing is that you have a good story. Honestly,
Yes.
if
big
you,
deal.
if it is the biggest thing. If you have, I mean, maybe a certain special effects may be memorable, but if you have a amazing story, yes, you may lose the big audience when it comes to the fact that a lot of people who watch movies aren't completely knowledgeable. Now, I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying they're not completely knowledgeable when it comes to the backgrounds of movies. Maybe they won't be able to tell the effect difference from one scene to the next or something of that sort. That's why they kind of have almost like a loose end thing, like with Wolf of Wall Street. They had a lot of cussing and a lot of gratuitous sex and all that kind of stuff, and that was what kind of pulled people in to be able to watch that movie. But if you can be able to tell an amazing story, your franchise or whatever you're trying to do will be based around that was an amazing story. One of my favorite movies of all time is a silent film, not because of that it was a silent film, but because it was just a good movie in a general sense. I love Casablanca, even though it is shot in black and white and a little bit older, and the sound quality can be bad at sometimes, but it's just a great story. And so with that, I may have to head out, and I will leave it to you guys.
All right. See you, Sam. Have a good day.
See you guys.
All right. So, David.
Yes.
So now that we're here, it's the David and Alex podcast on Sunday FM. Welcome to Sunny FM with your choices in beauty.
Coming at you live,
Okay,
we
all right.
have Alex
So-
Martinez.
Sam is really correct about the whole story thing. You need a great story. And I'm just really hoping that the Mutant Ninja Turtles movie isn't just going to be, oh, there's giant Ninja Turtles and just for the nostalgic factor. I want it to have a great story, and I really hope it does.
If they don't say cowabunga, I won't not.
If they don't say cowabunga and pizza or dude, I'm going to be really mad.
pizza, dude.
Pizza, dude. So another movie that me and David are both really excited for is the new X-Men movie.
Oh my god.
So when we see that, I'm sure that we'll come and talk on the podcast about it, because that is going to be a huge thing.
Did
I
you
can't
ever
wait for it.
you saw the X-Men animated series, right?
Yes, dude. Freaking.
Did you ever see the arc that the movie's going to be based on, or read the comics?
Yes, with the robots of destruction.
Me
Sentinels,
too,
dude.
and I'm so excited.
Dude, X-Men Apocalypse is a movie following this one. Oh, we know what's gonna happen, dude. So much stuff. I can't wait.
4 Horsemen of Death.
I can't wait, dude. This is going to be like, they're going to hopefully bring back X-Men, because X-Men went away for a little bit.
What I hope they have, and they probably won't have it in this film, but in the next film, I want Nightcrawler and Gambit, because they're my two favorite
I
characters.
miss Nightcrawler. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know.
They just never brought him back again. That made me really mad.
What was his name? Alan Cumming was playing him?
Yeah. And
He was all right.
He was a good. I just like the character of Nightcrawler. I think he's creepy and just really cool.
I thought it was unique in X-Men 2 how his skin wasn't furry, but instead he scarred his own skin.
Yeah, he had like tattoos everywhere from him like burning himself for penance against his sins.
Yeah.
So
That was a really interesting concept, I thought, that I wish they play more off of.
yeah, me too. It's I just wish that, I don't know what happened to him, because he was gone in X-Men 3. It made me upset.
X-Men 3, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. X2 was my favorite X-Men movie.
I saw X-Men 3 in the movie theaters.
Dude, X-Men 2 is my favorite X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Wolverine has not impressed me at all.
The Wolverine?
The Wolverine? It didn't, like, I like the movie, okay?
I
I'll
thought
admit that.
the Wolverine did a better job depicting his character more than the other film did.
The Origins movie?
Yeah.
That one sucked balls. They screwed up Deadpool.
Yeah, they really did.
They
The Blob,
really screwed
though.
up Deadpool.
The Blob, though.
Dude, so
They need to have the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in this.
let me explain what I meant before, is that I didn't feel like the Wolverine movie left an impact on me as much as like X-Men 2 did. I feel like the X-Men movies as a whole are more fulfilling. And I felt like the Wolverine movie was, oh yeah, here's this little journey for the Wolverine so that we can lead into the next X-Men movie. But again, I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm amazed. This is the best X-Men related thing I've ever seen in my life.
Do you know what I really do not like about the X-Men films that all of them have made?
What?
Cyclops is not a strong character, and he's a strong character.
Didn't he
but-
die?
Yeah, he died.
He died.
He was such a strong. He's a strong character, like in his own. If you actually look into
Dude,
him,
in the cartoon, he was my favorite character. I used to I love Cyclops, and then it became I love Gambit after a while.
yeah, but
Gambit
there's
started getting into me because
they could go so much with Cyclops and just his psyche and everything he's been through, but they were so biased to Wolverine's character. It was just
yeah, the X-Men movies focus a lot around Wolverine.
I wish they would just focus on X-Men as a whole.
Wolverine is like the main character of every X-Men movie, and the other characters seem to be their own main characters. That's another thing they do good is that Wolverine seems like the main character, but they do a really good job about explaining the rest of them. But I feel like they've gotten more into Wolverine being the main character, especially with the new couple films that are coming out, focusing only on Wolverine. They gave him 2 freaking movies, and I don't know. I'm really excited for it though.
What I really didn't like in X-Men 2, like the only really thing I didn't like was how Nightcrawler never met Mystique, and he never met what's her name, the girl with the white streak in her hair, Rogue, and how like that whole those relationships just interest me a lot.
I think in the comic books wasn't what's his name? Wasn't Nightcrawler?
He was Mystique's son.
Yeah, Mystique was his name Sabian? The red guy.
Azazel. Something like that.
I think it was Sabian. I think there's another character named Sabian who's kind of like him. Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to bring back the film festival just real quick and saying that I want to enter something next year. I'm sure that we will be working together for something like that.
Definitely.
And I'm sure I'll talk to you afterwards about something like that because I want to do something for sure.
Ooh.
Okay, so I just want to do one quick reminder for everyone that ARCADIACON is a 2-day. Now, this is kind of like an advertisement type thing, so excuse me, David. I'm reading something. It's a 2-day tropical gaming convention held annually in Galveston, Texas. ARCADIACON packs Minecraft-based contests, a gaming arcade, and live performances all together in like one unified package. It's amazing. ARCADIACON is a place for YouTubers and Twitch streamers and their fans and just everyone to come together and like hang out. This year it is being there's a lot of really cool people. Sky does Minecraft, a few other Minecraft related people, and just a few other YouTube people as well. A couple of my friends over at LZ Nation are co-hosting the event, and if you go and see them there, tell them that I sent you because that would be amazing. And I would just like to say that the tickets are going to be finished being sold. The final day to buy tickets anyways is May 31st, and the dates itself is June 7th to the 8th, and it's in Galveston, Texas. You can go ahead and go on to arcadiacon.com and buy your tickets from there, as well as look at hotels and such. So it's something really interesting, and I can't go this year, but if I ever get a chance to go one year, that would be just amazing. But I'm looking forward to hearing about it from a couple of my friends. So, yeah. All right, so we actually have one question, David.
We have one question?
Yeah, and it's more of an insult or a question yelling at us type thing.
Oh, is it Purple Dodo?
No, it's not Purple Dildo this time. It's from
man.
Gyro Fox.
Hey, Gyro Fox.
And he wants to know, where have you been? Well, we've been gone. No, us in total. We've been gone.
Sorry, Gyro Fox.
We haven't had an episode out in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that. And guys, truth be told, we were going to do it at the FBLA thing. We just got really busy. We were going to do it when we got home. I got sick right after we got home. And I just haven't been, I'm just now getting better. I'm sure you can still hear some sickness in me. So I'm just now getting better. And I'm just really glad that I am getting better. So yeah, that's where we've been. I've been sick and we just haven't felt like doing it. But now we're back. So I think that's it, David.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking with me today, as well as Sam. Sam's not here at the moment, though. So
It was my pleasure.
oh, thank you. Thanks for talking with us today. I'm sorry, what?
Was this my last podcast?
Well, no, because episode 15, we're gonna kill you off. And we're gonna bring in one of your clones.
Oh.
So
Well, how about instead of a clone, you just like revive me?
we're gonna clone you.
Oh, you revive me.
Clone.
Revive.
Clone.
Revive.
And thank you, philosophers, for tuning into this week's episode, as well as this huge, like, ultimate episode. Next week we'll continue from, I think we're going to just continue from where we left off type thing. Maybe skip ahead a few episodes. So thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Film Philosophy. Follow us on Twitter at philosophy_film. That's at philosophy_film. You can submit questions on our Twitter and our new website, which I'm making right now on squarespace.com. Squarespace.com is the best place to go make a website, seriously. Definitely go check it out. And you can use several different podcast promo codes to get like a discount on it. I recommend using Rooster Teeth's discount code, which is Rooster. You get like 10 or 20% off on your website, and it's definitely helpful. So definitely go there if you need a website built. That's where I'm building mine. So you can download our podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Right now, I am working on buying more space for SoundCloud, so that is going to be halted just a little bit. But tune in next week for another episode and submit your questions. So thank you, David.
Thank you.
And see you guys.
Bye, philosophers.
Clones.
Revive.
It's going to be clones.
Revive.
I'm going to clone you.
Revive me.
We already have 50 clones.
Revive me.